The best part about the main idea that I ever had for the Basilisk and Orgy crossover for the main plot of the story is, remember this scary man right here named Jay Gordon? He may be a bad A-word dude, the guy who likes to use his microphone whip, but he is actually a very good guy at heart. And the reason why he has to be the main good guy of the story, even if he's a bad A-word dude, is because of her. He has a soft side for this sweet little lady right here, who has these very lovely purple eyes. Even when the first time he met her, she was blind, and she covered her lovely eyes out. Well, if you remember Basilisk very carefully, you'll understand why. Well, anyway, hi ladies and dudes, this is Rebecca Lynn Barkley, aka BooBop1987. This is my review for today. And today I have no review, ladies and dudes, but it's that time once again for another edition of BooBop1987's Most Quick Videos. And what's today's most quick video today? Well, if you remember these 5 scary guys right here in this picture, the guys called Orgy, and my box thingy for Basilisk, one of the most underrated anime series of all time, and it's created by Gonzo, and also this is one of the best anime series out there for Gonzo, who made the best animation ever. Well, thanks to this main idea that I did last year, and I think it's only like maybe 8 months ago or 7.5 months ago or whatever, I decided to do my main idea ever. Let's do a crossover between these two. One that's really one of the most underrated anime series of all time with the best animation, and one of the most underrated heavy metal bands of all time that we've seen for a short period of time, back in the year 1999 all the way to 2001. So it's a good idea we make a crossover thing for a 26 episode event. Oh yeah, I want to thank you guys for helping me out to pick which main title that would be perfect for my Orgy and Basilisk crossover. And that main title will be The Mystic World of Basilisk. And I think that title would be perfect for my 26 episode crossover event between these two. And speaking of my crossover, I remember a few nights ago I decided to do, I guess you could say it's a script or whatever. I decided to make up a couple of ideas for the scenes for episode 1 and episode 2. Well, I'll tell you the truth is, the ending part of episode 1 and some of the parts of episode 2. And yeah, I worked really hard on this one, and I'm doing the very best that I can to put on, make up some lines here and there of how will the scene of my story will work. So I'll tell you about these main ideas anyway, the ones that I already wrote down. So the first part of the story I made up is the scene at the end of episode 1 and the beginning of episode 2. You know, a whole new chapter begins. This is the part where Jay Gordon and Oberodono are finally gonna meet each other for the very first time. And this scene is all about, it's been 6 long months when Jay Gordon had lost the true love of his life, who had died by sacrificing her life to save him. during the incidents of the orgy movie, and he cannot stop thinking about her death in his very own head. He's just very lost, very confused, and he has no idea what to do for the rest of his life. But not until that his life had changed forever when he met this very young woman who's wearing a purple kimono. She has dark purplish hair. She does have a lovely face. And also, she's very, very, very sad. And sadly, she won't see the sights of what the sea looks like, but she can feel for the sea. During the time in the boat scene on episode 13 from the original Basilisk. And then there was one moment that she's going to fall, and Jay Gordon was there to, save her, and he holds her in his arms while he is carrying his sword in his left hand, or is it his right hand? I forgot. And Jay Gordon said a whole ton of sweet things to her, and when he began to look at her for the very first time, he had no idea that she is blind. And he doesn't understand why he met a very sweet girl who is very, very blind. And also, he introduced himself. He decided to tell Oboro the truth about what type of man he really is. He's not a spy for the Koga clan. He's just a guy who's came out of nowhere. And he's not really a ninja dude. He doesn't have any ninja experience. Just made 0. And yeah, he did say his name. Well, backwards or forwards. In our forwards world, where we came from, we called by ourselves from our first and last names. But in Japan, they like to say our names backwards from our last names to our first names. But Jay Gordon had decided to make his name a little bit easier for Oboro. He said, just please call me Jay-sama. And Oboro doesn't mind that name at all. And he decided to walk away because the other 2 Iga members had shown up. Akaginyu and Kushiro. He doesn't want to bother those 2. So, that's my first main idea about the end of episode 1 and the beginning of episode 2, where Jay and Oboro first met. And also for the second part that took place in episode 2 is the part where, this is where we found out that the orgy guys are going to do their first task together in that big wooden boat place thing. They decided to be a little bit sneaky and make sure that the E-Clan did not know what the heck they're doing. Oh yeah, and Bobby and Paige are guided by a golden monkey. They have a golden monkey on their side, but Sally, poor Bobby and Paige, they only have a small role in this scene of the story. If I remember right, I think it will take place somewhere around like the end of the first half and the beginning of the second half for episode 2. And this is where the tragic incident began. The orgy guys will, both Jay, Ryan, and Amir, they're the ones who began to sneak, at the other side of the boat, and they're trying to hear what the heck that, Tenzin is trying to discuss with Oboro. Something that won't be pleasant. And this is where the scariness happened. Tenzin had begun to rape Oboro. and Obro was screaming and shouting, and those boys can't stand the yelling that's going on in the other side of the boat. You know, around in the upper side, I think. And poor Jay Gordon, he's began to worry, and he started to get upset, and he's grabbing his heart like this, and he began to understand that Obro is in very deep pain, and he just can't stand it. It feels like he's hurting from the inside. And he was thinking to himself, when will Obro ever say the man's main name? The man that she already met, but she never seen the dude's face. She kept screaming for if the other members of the Eagle clan will ever come by and save her. And then right at the moment, she finally said Jay's name. She said Jay-sama. And yeah, when Jay heard it, he began to scream out loud, and he told Tenzin, that's enough. Please let that little lady go right now, or I'm gonna kick you in the candy A word. And also, I decided to add a little bit of a comedy in there, you know, between Ryan and Amir. And since, here's an interesting fun fact about Ryan and Amir. They were really good friends in real life, and they did stay together as a whole for so many years. And yeah, they did work together in another band before Orgy. There was a really funny moment where there was a part where Ryan and Amir were with Jay Gordon, and they see an awkward look on their faces, and they found out that their lead singer had disappeared. He disappeared out of nowhere. He disappeared out of thin air. And there will be a break in the fourth wall moment where Ryan said, is it just me, or Jay Gordon did do some big lip alligator moment on us? And Amir is like, what the heck is a big lip alligator moment? And he told his buddy, it's something that we only see one time only, and we never saw it again. Something like that. And yeah, there will be a part in the story in episode 2 where Jay Gordon did kick Tenzin's butt. And he decided to hurt him really, really hard. Yeah, he's gonna. And also, Ryan and Amber will come by and help out Obro as well. Even if Obro got really, really hurt so darn badly. So yeah, I think those are the things I will tell you about what I decide to put for the end of episode 1 and episode 2, and some of the parts of episode 2 as well, for my main ideas for the Orgy and Basilisk crossover. Oh yeah, a little part about Bobby and Paige. They gotta make sure they tell everybody in the boat to stay calm and try to, you know, stay at your area as soon as you can, and don't go outside because there's an emergency going on. That's all I could say about that part between Bobby and Paige and the little golden monkey that they have on their side. So that's it. That's all I could say about all the stuff I could tell you about for my Basilisk and Orgy crossover. So what do you think about my main ideas for the little part of the story for the Basilisk and Orgy crossover? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you think it's pretty decent? And what do you think about my ideas for both the end of episode 1 and some parts of episode 2? Well, whichever it is, leave a comment there, let me know. And join me next time for more quick videos to come in the main future. And also join me next time when I head on to my next anime review of Fruits Basket Season 2. I can finally do that, an anime review series at long last. So, that is it for now. I'll see you guys later and sayonara.